There are no accidents in this life. If your eyes are hearing this, then you were meant to, not later, now. Most people drift through time like leaves in the wind, moved by outside forces, never aware of where they're going or why. But a few become still, and in that stillness they hear a whisper, a calling. And if you are receiving this before the 4th of August, then that whisper has reached you. This moment is not about a date. It is about you and the alignment of your energy with a deeper current that flows beneath the surface of all things. There are moments in life that open a doorway, but the doorway is not visible to the eye, it is only visible to the inner being. You were not sent here to merely survive. You were sent here to wake up, to remember the path you've walked for a lifetime. And sometimes that remembering begins with a question. Why me? Why now? Because the universe does not make mistakes. Because you are ready to see what most cannot. You are not like them, and that is not pride. It is purpose. Your awareness is your responsibility. Your discipline is your freedom. Before 4 August, a window opens. In this space, you are being invited to prepare not through action alone, but through alignment. This is not about chasing results. This is about cleansing your inner space so that when the wave arrives, you are not drowned by it. You ride it, that many will ignore this. They will laugh, scroll, sleep, but those who hear with more than ears, they will feel it in their bones. This is for me. And for those few, this moment becomes a turning point. So breathe deeply, stilled, and listen. Not to me, but to you. The chosen are not chosen because they are special. They are chosen because they chose to listen, to see, to act, and to rise. You are not early. You are not late. You are not late. You are exactly on time. Now step through. Timing is sacred. Not because the clock ticks with magic, but because life itself unfolds in rhythms far beyond what the eye can see. Every moment carries its own energy, its own weight, and its own invitation. When we speak of timing being sacred, we are acknowledging that not every door is meant to open at the same time for every soul. The universe moves with precision, and what often feels like delay or misfortune is simply life organizing itself in a way that best serves your growth, your readiness, and your purpose. There is a reason why flowers don't bloom all year round. The seed knows when to stay hidden, when to absorb, and when to rise through the soil. In the same way, we are constantly being guided by an unseen intelligence that moves us through seasons. Seasons of waiting, seasons of action, and seasons of transformation. But only those who are still enough to listen can truly understand when to act and when to remain silent. Those who rush may miss what is forming in silence. Those who wait too long may miss the call when it comes. Sacred timing is not about control. It is about alignment. People often get frustrated when life doesn't follow their plan. But what if the delay is not rejection, but redirection? What if the closed door is the hand of wisdom guiding you to a path that's not just safer, but more true to who you really are? There's great humility in trusting the timing of things. It means surrendering the ego's urge to force outcomes and instead leaning into patience, awareness, and trust. When you begin to respect timing as sacred, you stop comparing your journey to others. You realize that someone else's success or progress is not your failure. It's simply their season, and your season will come too, not a second too late or too soon. Sacred timing teaches you to move with life, not against it. It teaches you to act with awareness rather than reaction and to value presence over impatience. In the silence between moments, timing speaks, and those who hear it, who feel it, begin to live not by habit, but by harmony. When your actions meet the right moment, even small steps carry the power to change everything. That is why timing is and will always be sacred. The chosen are not lucky, they are aware. What looks like destiny to others is often deep inner work, quiet discipline, and a sharpened awareness that sees what most overlook. People say they were in the right place at the right time, but they rarely understand that such placement is not coincidence, it's consciousness. Those who are awake move differently. They observe in silence, they prepare in stillness. They notice the subtle shifts in energy, in opportunity, in people, and in themselves. And when the moment comes, they act not out of impulse, but out of deep clarity. To be chosen is not about being selected by some outside force. It's about choosing yourself again and again. It's about choosing presence over distraction, discipline over comfort, awareness over ignorance. Most people are asleep not because they lack intelligence, but because they have given their attention away too cheaply. The world is loud, chaotic, and filled with noise designed to pull you away from your inner world. The chosen are not immune to that noise. They simply recognize it for what it is. Illusion. They train their minds to see through it. It means you ask the right questions. It means you notice when your energy drops around certain people. It means you listen when your intuition whispers, even if the world shouts otherwise. Being chosen is not about external validation. It is about internal alignment. A person who is aware may walk into the same room as someone who is unaware, but they will see completely different things. They read between the lines. They catch the unspoken. They move with purpose, not pressure. Those who are aware don't chase because they understand that what is truly meant for them will align when they are ready. They don't compete because they trust that their lane is already carved. They don't waste time explaining their path to people who can't see it. Their journey is not about impressing others, but about becoming whole. The chosen see the signs before they're obvious. They act on guidance before it becomes logic. They are not favored by luck. They are led by vision, sharpened by experience, and anchored in awareness. That is what separates the awake from the asleep. Not chance, but conscious choice. Before transformation, there is a calling. It doesn't always come loudly. Sometimes it arrives as a soft discomfort, a whisper that something isn't right, that something more exists beyond what your current eyes can see. It is not always a dramatic event that pulls you forward. Often it is the quiet sense that you are not meant to stay where you are. The calling isn't about change for the sake of change. It is a deeper pull toward becoming who you truly are beneath the layers of noise, expectation, and fear. This calling usually comes before you're ready, before you feel strong enough, before the path is clear. That's because transformation does not begin with clarity. It begins with trust. The calling asks you to step away from what is familiar, even if it is comfortable. It invites you to let go of identities, routines, and patterns that no longer serve your evolution. Most people resist this moment. They dismiss the calling, suppress it, or distract themselves until it fades. But for those who are willing to listen, who dare to pause and reflect, a shift begins. That shift is the beginning of transformation. You are not called by accident. Life does not waste invitations. If you feel something stirring within you, it means there is something more waiting to emerge from you. It might not yet make sense. It might feel uncomfortable. That's part of it. The soil must crack before the seed rises. The shell must break before the being is free. The calling is the crack. It's the sign that your inner world is expanding beyond the container it has outgrown. Answering the call requires courage. Not because the journey is easy, but because it demands truth. You must confront what you've ignored. You must step into silence and face your own reflection. You must become willing to lose what you thought defined you in order to discover what truly does. No transformation is possible without first hearing and honoring the call. It is the sacred beginning. It is the voice of your higher self whispering, there is more and you are ready. Transformation never begins outside of you. It begins when something within you refuses to stay the same. And before that refusal becomes action, it always begins with the call. Inner silence reveals outer truth. In a world filled with constant noise, distraction, and endless information, silence is not just rare, it is revolutionary. Most people are so occupied with external chatter that they never truly hear themselves. They react to life instead of responding with awareness. Yet within every person lies a space of stillness, a quiet presence untouched by the chaos of the world. It is within this silence that clarity begins to form. When the mind becomes still, the fog lifts. You begin to see situations, people, and even yourself without distortion. Thoughts lose their grip and intuition starts to speak. Truth does not scream, it whispers, and it only becomes audible when the mind has been quieted. That is why those who seek truth outside themselves often remain confused. They're looking through filters, projections, and noise. But the one who turns inward, the one who learns to sit in silence, uncovers a different kind of vision, one that sees through appearances. Inner silence is not the absence of sound, but the presence of awareness. It is the place where you are no longer a slave to thoughts, where emotions pass without pulling you under, and where the ego has nothing to prove. In this space, the truth of life begins to reveal itself. You recognize what truly matters. You sense what is false. You no longer need the approval of others because you've tapped into something deeper, something unshakable. This silence is a form of discipline. It requires you to stop chasing, to stop reacting, to stop filling every moment with activity. It asks you to sit, breathe, and observe. It asks for honesty, and in return, it gives vision. You begin to feel when something is off, even if words say otherwise. You begin to sense who is real and who is performing. Most importantly, you begin to see yourself without judgment. This is where transformation begins, not with action, but with awareness. When you honor inner silence, you become anchored. The outer world may shift, but you remain steady. You stop being pulled in 100 directions and start walking your path with intention. That is the power of silence. It doesn't just calm the mind. It sharpens perception, it unveils truth, and it brings you back to what is real. August 4 is a threshold, not merely a date on the calendar, but a symbolic crossing point for those who are paying attention. Most people move through time unconsciously, treating each day as just another in a long sequence. But there are moments when time becomes sacred, when certain days carry with them a deeper significance. August 4 holds such energy. It represents a line in the sand, a turning point where reflection must meet decision and intention must become action. A threshold is not something to be feared, it is an invitation. It asks one simple question: will you continue to live from habit, or will you rise with awareness? For those who have felt a stirring within them, a quiet unrest, a need for change that cannot be ignored, this moment is not random. It is precise. It is aligned. It is asking you to take a step across, to release what no longer fits the version of yourself that you are becoming. Oh, there is power in symbolic moments. They remind us that we are not just drifting. They give us the opportunity to reset, to redirect our energy, to break from the cycles that have kept us in delay. August 4 is not about something happening to you. It is about something awakening within you. You may feel a push, a pull, a heaviness that says, you can't keep living this way. That discomfort is guidance. It means you are at the edge of change. Those who ignore the threshold may find themselves repeating the same patterns, facing the same limitations. But those who pause, who reflect, who act with intention, these are the ones who transform. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't ask for permission. They recognize the threshold for what it is, a doorway into deeper purpose. The days leading up to it have whispered. The signs have appeared. And now August 4 stands before you, not as a warning, but as a mirror. It reflects back who you've been and who you could become, if only you decide to walk through. And once you cross, the past no longer holds the same power. The path ahead begins to reshape. Momentum builds. Energy shifts. That is the nature of a threshold. It changes everything if you let. Energy flows where intention goes. This simple truth holds profound power. Wherever your focus rests, your life begins to shape itself around it. Intention is not just thought. It is directed awareness guided by purpose. Most people don't realize how much of their energy is leaking into distractions, doubts, and unnecessary noise. They believe they're tired from doing too much, but often they are tired from doing too little of what actually matters. The real drain is not in action, it's in misalignment. When your intentions are clear, your energy sharpens, you stop moving in circles and begin to move with purpose. The mind becomes disciplined, the body responds. The path, though not always easy, begins to open. But when intention is scattered, when it is driven by fear, comparison, or confusion, your energy becomes diluted. You chase without direction, you act without depth, and life becomes a cycle of effort without impact. Every thought, every choice, every emotion is a signal. It tells your energy where to flow, and over time these small signals create your reality. That is why the quality of your intention matters. Intention is not just what you want, it is what you commit to. It's not wishing for change, it's aligning every part of your being with that change. People often say they want peace, yet spend hours consumed by conflict. They seek growth but resist discomfort. They want clarity but feed their minds with constant noise. The universe doesn't respond to what you say, it responds to what you consistently choose. To master your life, you must master your intention. Ask yourself not just what you're doing, but why. Is your action rooted in truth or in habit? Are you moving from alignment or from reaction? When you set an intention, you give your energy a direction. And when your energy is fully behind that direction, you become powerful, focused, steady, and deeply present. Transformation begins with one simple shift, reclaiming your energy from where it has been scattered and returning it to where it belongs. Place your intention where you want life to grow. Nurture it with awareness, protect it with discipline, then act from it again and again. Your intention is the seed, your energy is the water. What you choose to nourish will bloom. Always let those who prepare in silence rise in power. True strength is not built in the spotlight. It is forged in moments when no one is watching. In a world that glorifies noise, speed, and constant visibility, silent preparation is often overlooked. But the most powerful individuals are not the loudest. They are the most rooted. They do not rush to prove. They don't announce every move. Instead, they cultivate themselves in quiet discipline, knowing that growth that is hidden today becomes strength that is undeniable tomorrow. Silence is not weakness. It is a container for deep work. It is the space where distraction fades and focus sharpens. Those who train in silence are not wasting time. They are using it wisely. Every moment of quiet effort, every unseen repetition, every internal struggle is preparing them for something great. While others chase validation, the silent ones build foundations. They are not distracted by applause because they are tuned into purpose. Power that comes without preparation is unstable. It fades quickly because it has no roots. But when someone prepares in silence, their rise is steady. It may take time, but when they emerge, they are unshakable. They've done the inner work. They've built the mental, emotional, and spiritual muscles needed not just to rise, but to remain. They are not moved by chaos because they trained in stillness. Preparation in silence is also protection. It allows growth without interference. It keeps intentions pure and shields the process from premature judgment or ego. It is in this sacred silence that clarity grows. Decisions are made from wisdom, not pressure. Actions are taken with awareness, not reaction. And when the time comes, these individuals do not need to announce their arrival. Their presence speaks, their results speak, their energy speaks. Because true power does not need to shout, it simply is. The one who prepares in silence understands that every step taken in the dark creates a path that will one day shine with light. They trust the process, they honor the work, and they rise, not suddenly, but unavoidably. So, while others perform for the moment, they prepare for the long journey. And when they rise, they do not fall, because their power was built not on attention, but on alignment.